Hi, my name's Mark, one of the pastors here at Trillium. Recently, I was watching a YouTube video of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Tyson is a world-ranking astrophysicist. He's a wonderful science commentator. I love listening to him. And he was talking at an event around the religiosity of scientists. See, in the United States, about 90% of people in the US say that they believe in a God who answers prayer. Yet when this question was posed to scientists, generally speaking, only about 40% answered in the affirmative. But when it was put to the elite scientists, the most brilliant minds who had the most profound education, when this question was put to them, only 15% came back saying yes. And in an article in Science, the question was between the 85% of scientists who said no and the 90% of the American public who said yes to the same question. But for Tyson, the real issue was, how could 15% of the most elite, brilliant minds in the scientific community still say yes to this question? Because in his own understanding, it should be zero. If you have this rich scientific training and you're super intelligent, then you should be saying essentially zero to the question. No, nada, nothing. And it made me realize just how freakish the notion of a super transcendent reality, or what we might call God, has become in our culture. See, because for Tyson, he wanted to study those 15% of scientists who still said yes to the question, is there a God who answered prayer? In a sense that they were freaks. And I realized that if those elite scientists are freaks, then those of us at Trillium have become freaks too. We're kind of freaks in our own culture. Now, I realize still the majority of Canadians say yes to the question, is there a God who answers prayer? But only by a small thread today. That percentage has been declining on a fairly rapid basis over the last 20 or 30 years. And so in the United Church, at least, we've in a sense embraced a more agnostic scientific understanding for ourselves. And for us in the church, that means we're in a kind of a dilemma. Because on the one hand, we do believe in this super transcendent reality, but the frame that's been given to us in our culture to understand how the universe works and how life works is basically built around a scientific agnosticism or even atheism. And how do we marry those two together? And this is over a 50-year change. In 1965, the United Church was at the center of the culture. We were the brand, in a sense. 1 million people went to church Sunday morning. Churches were crammed full of people. We were the brand. People wanted to be part of us. Today, that number's been cut more than half, and we've been pushed to the edge of the culture. We're kind of, freaks today in our culture. In fact, anyone who goes to church is kind of a bit freakish, if you want the truth to be told. And we're having a hard time coming to terms with this. We say in our beliefs here, God's power miraculous. That's a very powerful claim. We believe in this super transcendent reality that can come and involve itself in our lives, that can even move through the normal processes and allow something to happen that wouldn't otherwise happen at all. How do we come to terms with that? I think if a real miracle plopped down on our laps today at Trillium, we wouldn't know what to do with it. It would kind of freak us out. It would blow to pieces our understanding of how the universe really works. And so we tend to kind of shy away or look away when a miracle might be unfolding in our lives, or we kind of dismiss it. We say that God's ways are mysterious. And we mean by that our minds and our understanding is just too small to see the big picture. And that big picture includes that super transcendent reality. There's some kind of intelligence at work in the universe that's guiding events. But in the moment, we don't know what's happening, whether it's good or bad for us. We can't see the big picture, so we say God's way is mysterious. But those who have embraced a more scientific, atheistic viewpoint will simply call us cowards, in a sense, hiding behind mystery, when in fact the truth is we live in a simply random event universe. It's a real challenge for us, because we have to make a choice for ourselves. Do we want to live in the mainstream today in following Jesus, or do we want to allow ourselves to embrace that freakishness and what it means to live on the edges of the culture? For me personally, I'm going to choose God's power miraculous. I'll take the miracle. And for me, I'll choose to take God's ways mysterious.